Just to give you a trick, when you want to record on a cassette deck to a cassette from an external source, so line in, you actually don't hear the sound when your external source is playing. So right now I did connect the deck with a line in that goes behind the deck into the in ports, and this is my laptop. This is a line out. Obviously it's just audio. I'm playing from YouTube, so YouTube does work at this point. It has sound, but when you connect it to the tape, you cannot hear that sound. That's how it goes. If you want to hear the sound to actually synchronize the recording, what you want to do is first play pause, push it down, and it's going to stay there. So push down pause, and then press rec and play at the same time. You can use two fingers, just synchronize them. And at this point, the deck is paused, it doesn't spin, it doesn't record, it doesn't play, it doesn't do anything. The cassette doesn't run. It stays in pause mode with rec and play, but you can at this point listen to the sound of your input source. So this is the sound that I'm playing right here. This is a priest from Mount Athos in Greece. You see the trick? So if I would stop the rec, play, and pause, just stop it. Whoops, the sound disappears. So this is how you capture the sound before starting the recording. Press pause, it stays there. Press rec and play, and you get the sound. And if you want to start the actual recording, just release the pause button. Then the cassette starts spinning and recording. If you want to pause it, just press pause. If you want to stop it, stop. The two buttons release, but at this point, again, you don't hear that sound. So yes, that's how it goes. And you can actually use this very thing. If you have a double decker like this one, you just pause press the pause button, keep it stays down, then rec and play at the same time. I wonder if you can actually, actually, if you press only on rec, usually it will depress the play button, but it's better not to force the mechanism. That's why I like to put my finger on both of them at the same time. And you just pause it like this, then you start the other cassette. I don't have a cassette in there, but you just start it. And actually what's happening is that it has a small noise, my unit. The pause button releases automatically and it starts recording. So my cassette here is spinning, and this one it's playing if you want to record from the other. So right now there's nothing there. I'm curious if I stop it, if it's releasing in there. Let's see. I didn't try this before. No, it doesn't stop it here, so you have to stop it manually. It's only for play and rec. So if I would press pause and play, yes, it doesn't run. So if I would release pause, it starts playing. So pause is for play or for play and record. Or if you want, when you actually press, for those that of you that are young, when you wanted to record on a cassette, you had to press down on both these buttons. It's maybe not logical, but that's how it works. So you don't just press the rec button when you record. You press rec and play together. It's just like this. For some mysterious reason the engineers were using back in the days. I don't know, maybe it has to do with the mechanical way it works inside, that you have to press both of these buttons. Remember, these cassettes also had a anti-record tab, plastic tab on both sides, because each side corresponds to one rolling way. So one tab is for one side of the cassette, the other tab is for the other side. One tip: be careful, if there is no cassette inside, you cannot press the rec button, rec play together. It's just not going to move. So do not force, you will bend the mechanism inside. Also, again, if it looks like this, it means that small plastic piece that's on the left side of the hole, and the same goes for the other side, it's missing. So when it's like this, if you put the cassette in there, there's actually a small pin right there at the top. Depends on could be on the other side. So if the pin is going to be on the left side and the hole is open, there is not closed with a plastic piece, you won't be able to depress these two buttons. So don't force again. What you want to do is simply either put a small piece of paper, just insert it in there, looks more or less like this. Just fill that hole, or tape it, but this way it's up there. But this is just so the tape it's on the left side. You can feel that pin, it's right there, and you can at this point depress the buttons easily. Again, when you buy one cassette, actually when you would buy one cassette back in the days that was originally recorded, so when you buy whatever music in store, original ones, the cassette will be missing this plastic tab. And also some people's will just record whatever you want on the cassette and then will just break this tab. Just push it with your finger. Cassette, basically, you can switch the cassettes like this. This tape, by the way, it's playing with the tape down. Some other decks or cassette players will play with the tape up. Just look where the mechanism is. It's just a manufacturing choice if you want. So again, these tabs would correspond each for one way of recordings. And I wanted to point something. So this cassette here, it's a type 2 metal one. It's a TDK. It's one of the good ones, not top of the line, but it was really popular and price-wise was a good option. And again, this one being type 2, it's metal, and also you notice it's 90 minutes. So there's two types of cassettes. I have here a Sony, which is also metal, and this one is 60 minutes, which means 30 minutes each side. This one 90 means 45 minutes each side. That was the limit, basically. And I wanted to show something. When you have a deck like this, you also have usually a switch and it says metal, normal, and whatnot. I can tell you that it's actually to you to just record a test. Whatever your cassette is, obviously metal ones are going to be better quality sound. Not enormously better, but better. But even if I use a metal cassette, actually I record in normal mode. It's really up to you to test it and see if you like the sound, the result of recording better with normal or whatever else position. It's not always that the metal corresponding position, it will sound the best, at least it's just subjective, right? It's pretty dusty. Also, I do, because I have a line in actually, I do put the level to max. It's just kind of give you a louder sound. And you need to switch it to line to your unit. So make sure you check for these buttons and you just switch to line. If it was like this, it will record from the other double cassette. And also this unit allows you to record from the second cassette at high speed, so it takes less time. It's instead of 30 minutes per side, I don't know how much faster is it, maybe 15-20 minutes, somehow faster. And also finally, you see most of these units had this fancy Dolby B whatever system, but I can show you that I'm actually deactivating the Dolby function. So I always record and play back with Dolby to the off position. And it's a matter of preference. I think the sound with the Dolby engaged, Dolby was meant to reduce background noise, but at the same time, it kind of causes the sound to be muffled, both when you record and when you play back. So I'm not a fan of Dolby sound background noise reduction system. That's why I put it to off. Up to you again. Keep in mind, these are personal choices. Okay, so these units are pretty nice. I got this one that has all the rubber belt in good condition, works fine. This side here makes kind of a noise, perhaps a gear is stripped or so, plastic gears inside. But it's at least it's a good looking unit, and you know, these counters, mechanical, you have a kind of peak level sound. Back in the days it was with needles, the older units, those are nicer, but this one is good too. All right, thanks for watching.